Welcome to Center Grove High School, the Melvin Vandermeer Gymnasium here, and we have a great night of basketball on hand for you guys. The Johnson County Tournament semifinal between GCA and Whiteland. I'm Jayden Collins, along my side, Luke Wineland-Moening, and tonight we have two teams with very impressive resumes. Maybe GCA is a little lesser, but they are sitting at 9-3. Two of those losses coming in overtime. What do you have to say about the Cougars?
I mean, when you look at Greenwood Christian Academy, they don't look super big. They don't score a ton of points. Whiteland scores 10 more points per game than them. When you look at most stat categories head-to-head, Whiteland beats them in everything except for field goal percentage. But when you look at the defense, when you look at opponent points per game and opponent field goals allowed, GCA only allows 49 points per game, and they only allow 40% from the field. That is really good defense. Allowing teams to under 50 points a game is very good defense. So when you have a smaller team like this that plays such good defense, you know that they're quick, they're tough, they're gritty, but most importantly, they're fundamentally sound.
And when you talk about the Warriors on Tuesday night, huge upset. They don't like to call it an upset because they expected to win, but a lot of the people are calling it an upset against now 10-2 Franklin in the first round of county to advance to this game. Luke, you were on the call for that game. What did you see?
I mean, Whiteland just stayed intense the whole time. They competed. They never once kind of shied away from, oh my goodness, this is Franklin, they're so good. They knew it was a rivalry matchup. They considered themselves just as good. And in those type of games, you know anything can happen when emotions are so high. They're a well-coached team. They're a very good offense. Defense, they're pretty good too. So they're a very well-rounded team. They've got good size, speed. So overall, Whiteland just gets out there. They don't care who they're playing, and they compete.
And Luke, for GCA, they are led by Noah Reed and Max Boer in the scoring category, both of them in double figures in their Tuesday night win against Indian Creek. How can they contribute in this effort for GCA against the Warriors tonight?
Well, Whiteland likes to play man-to-man a lot. So I think what you're going to see from GCA is a lot of off-ball movement, screens, pick and pops, pick and rolls, just a lot of off-the-ball movement to try and get people open, try to make people mess up on assignments, slip up, allow certain leverages to go. So what you're going to see from GCA is just a lot of speed and a lot of strategy. It's going to be like a chess match, this game, kind of like you would see in a football game. There's going to be a lot of set plays that these teams are going to want to run because how well matched they are.
And for your Whiteland Warriors, one word we keep coming back to this season is balance. You have 3 players, not 1, not 2, 3 players scorer of this team taking a chance to pass the rock around. What do you have to say about the Warriors' offensive attack and how balanced it is?
They have become a much better three-point shooting team than in years past because you've got Ethan Edwards and Gavin Stubbe, who are very consistent three-point shooters, along with Jazz Bandweight almost shooting 40%. Even Wyatt McLaughlin only shooting just under 30, can hit it from deep a little bit. So this team, you know, they can hit mid-range shots, they can hit inside shots, but when their threes are hitting, when they get hot, that's what matters, and that's when they really shine.
Well, we are going to take a break as both teams wrap up warm-ups. Basketball when you return on the Whiteland Beat Sports Network. This broadcast of Whiteland basketball is brought to you by Taylor's Farm Market. This game is also brought to you in part by Reese Restoration and Bailey & Wood Mortgage Lender, proud sponsor of Whiteland Athletics. Well, with that, we welcome you into the confines of the Melvin Vandermeer Gymnasium at Center Grove High School. I'm Jayden Collins, along my side, Luke Wineland-Moening, and we are privileged to bring you this presentation of Whiteland basketball on the Whiteland B Sports Network. We will start off with starting lineups tonight for the Whiteland Warriors, who are acting as the visiting team. You will have Jazz Banwaite, Wyatt McLaughlin, Akol, Gavin Stubbe, and Ethan Edwards, the same starting five as Tuesday night when they had the win against Franklin. They're coached by Nate Kangany, who is 51-56 in his 5 years at Whiteland. And for the acting home team here at Center Grove High School, it is Greenwood Christian Academy. Their starting five: Jordan Tallman, Ben Comerford, Noah Reed, Max Bower, and Eli Jackson. The GCA Cougars are coached by Jackson Williams, who in fact is already responsible for over 20% of GCA's wins in program history. That is 45 out of 213. So Luke, two teams on the court ready to take action here. Whiteland wearing the blue with the white accents and orange numbers, and then GCA in white with the blue numbers. What do you see here tonight?
I mean, something that I think Whiteland's going to kind of key in on is Jordan Tallman last game did have 3 turnovers. And if he's going to handle the ball a lot, which I assume he is a guard, they're going to try and force him to make bad decisions and turn the ball over, because Whiteland loves to get out in transition and run. I mean, we've seen a few Ethan Edwards dunks so far in the season, so Whiteland's going to want to get more of those. They're electric. They help energize the rest of the team. They keep you in the game, and they can really demoralize your opponent.
Well, in terms of fanfare, I think Whiteland is beating that category. A lot of GCA fans making the short trip up 135 and across Morgantown Road as Akol wins the tip against Jordan Tallman, and we are underway at Center Grove High School. McLaughlin handling the ball first, passes off to Stubbe. Now it's Banwaite running along the right side of the floor, out to Edwards in the left wing. McLaughlin handles from the top of the key, kicks out, Banwaite right corner three, and it's good for Jazz Banwaite.
Great job moving the ball around the perimeter there for the Warriors.
So the Warriors with the 3-0 lead early. Ball will be brought up the floor by Noah Reed, who is fouled hard at the mid-court line by Jazz Banwaite. And it looks like Tallman will be the outlet pass. So that is the first foul of the game for Jazz Banwaite, who already has 3 points in the first 25 seconds of play. Tallman to inbound. Tallman gets to Reed deep in the backcourt. Still yet to cross the timeline. Now gets it across to Boer. Boer guarded by Stubbe. Gets it to Jackson at the top of the key, who passes off to Boer, sets a pick, and Boer answers with a 3 of his own in the face of Akol. Banwaite back up the floor for the Warriors.
Yeah, Max Boer, GCA's leading scorer, is going to be a real focus in their offense tonight.
Banwaite dribbles to the left wing, kicks out to Stubbe at the top of the key, who passes it to Edwards. He finds Banwaite, who shoots it from 25 for 3. And Banwaite with a hot start, 2 for 2 so far, 6 points for the Warriors. The 6 points the Warriors have with 6:53 left to go here in the first quarter of play. Boer, right wing, guarded by Stubbe. Now back to Jackson. They try to run the same pick and pop. They'll get it to Reed, dribbles to the right elbow. Reed kicks back out to Boer, directs traffic. Now it's swung across to Comerford, guarded by Edwards. Gets it to Jackson. Jackson hands off top of the key to Boer. It's poked away by Akol. Now Banwaite up the floor. Banwaite on the fast break. Can't convert the 2. Hard rebound by Comerford. He goes down hard, and they'll call a travel as he was guarded by Stubbe trying to gather that rebound.
Oh, that's a really tough break for GCA, but great defense there by Whiteland, especially Akol, and Jazz Banwaite being at the right place, the right time, able to pick up that ball.
Edwards to inbound from his own baseline. Edwards gets it into Stubbe. Now Akol directing traffic at the top of the key. A rare sight for the Warriors this season. Gets it to Banwaite. Now Akol back at the top of the key. Now Banwaite. Dribble drive, kick out. Stubbe dribbles to the top, passes off to Edwards, and the Warriors are 3 for 3 from beyond the arc here in the first quarter with 2 minutes gone by. A 9-3 lead for the Whiteland Warriors.
I mean, GCA is getting in their face. They're playing pretty good perimeter defense, but Whiteland's just hitting their shots.
Reed deep in the backcourt, passes off to Eli Jackson. Now Reed again, this time to Tallman. Tallman in the right wing, guarded by McLaughlin. Now draws a double for McCall. Boer in the right corner to Tallman. Swung to Reed. Now Reed directs traffic. Reed dribble drives with the left. Pulls up inside the paint. Shot was deflected by a Cole and rebounded by Ethan Edwards, who draws a push from Eli Jackson, and the Warriors have possession.
Yeah, that's where that height advantage really plays in. Cole not averaging a ton of blocks on the year, but he's able to alter shots, deflect shots, and just overall use his length in the post to disrupt teams' flow on offense.
Banwade up the floor for the Warriors. Gets it off to a Cole, who passes off to Edwards in the left wing, guarded by Reed. Now Banwade in the middle. Fadeaway jumper for Banwade inside the key. And he gets to Banwade now with 8 so far in this ballgame, 8 of the Warriors' 11, with 5:10 left to go in the first period of play. Reed drawing air ball chance from the Whiteland student section. Passes off to Boer. Boer drives with the left, guarded by Stubbe. Now passes off to Eli Jackson. Eli Jackson with a thread-the-needle pass, but Boer could not handle it. And the Warriors take over, another turnover for GCA.
Yeah, that's going to force GCA to call a timeout. They don't want this to get too out of hand early.
Well, they call a timeout. We'll take a break along with them. 4:57 left to go in the first quarter. Warriors with an 11-3 lead over GCA in the Johnson County semifinal. Basketball when you return on the Whiteland Beat Sports Network. Welcome back to Center Grove High School, where Banway will bring it up the floor for the Warriors with 4:50 left to go here in the first quarter. Warriors up 11-3, forced GCA coach Jackson Williams to call an early timeout. Now McLaughlin pivot steps at the left elbow, passes off to Stubbe, who hits a three from the left wing. Gavin Stubbe, that's the 4th three for the Warriors in this first quarter. And it looks like Cole lost his shoe there.
Well, you know, he's got some big feet. Sometimes they're hard to contain in shoes.
So Tallman will bring it out for GCA. Passes off to Reed, who brings it up the floor. Met at the timeline by Jazz Banway. Now Reed draws a double from Cole. Pass deflected, gathered by Stubbe. Warriors going the other way with it. McLaughlin driving inside, kicks out. Right corner three for Banway, and he hits it again. Banway, double figures in the first quarter.
I mean, that was just a great executed double team there. They trapped him, didn't allow him to pass to the open man, and forced a turnover.
Now it's going to be Boer, top of the key, guarded by Stubbe. Draws a double from Cole. Boer under duress, deep in the backcourt, passes off to Cisse, seeing his first minutes tonight. He's guarded closely by Edwards. Cisse struggling to move the ball. Gets it to Reed. In the post, and Reed gets an easy 2 on Cole. Great post move by Noah Reed, the 5'11 junior guard. Mismatched on the 6'6 Cole.
Yeah, that was a good job getting Cole behind him, because if you get him behind you, then you can force him to foul, or he just has to let you go, which Cole did.
Cole facilitating the offense. Now gets it off to Banway, who dribble drives on the baseline and gets the 2 from the left corner.
I mean, Jazz Banway is just in some kind of zone right now.
He is catching heat tonight. Noah Reed dribbles around. Gets it inside. Beautiful pass from Noah Reed, but it's blocked. Tallman's shot is blocked by McLaughlin and goes out of bounds. Heads up play from Wyatt McLaughlin there, using all of his 6'1 frame to gather that one.
Yeah, I mean, just great job by Wyatt McLaughlin staying with the play and not fouling as Spencer Gillespie checks in for the Warriors.
Boer passes in. Now Noah Reed at the top. Gets it into Tallman. The same play, but stripped away by Cole. Tallman recovers in the right corner. Now passes it down low. This is Jackson, whose pass is errant, intended for Noah Reed. Goes out of bounds right in front of the Warriors bench, and the Warriors take over, forcing another turnover for GCA, the story of this first quarter so far.
Yeah, I mean, GCA, they do average almost 11 turnovers per game as a team, so a great job by Whiteland here, just forcing them to make bad decisions early.
Banway up the floor after the Edwards inbound. 2:55 left to go here in the first quarter. Warriors up 19-5. Gillespie gathers a sloppy pass in the left corner. Gets it off to Edwards in the left wing. Now Edwards shooting it from 30. No good, rolling off the front of the rim. It's gathered in by Noah Reed. Gets it to Cisse. Cisse running the floor quickly. Stops in the right corner, guarded by Edwards. Now it's Boer. Passes off to Reed, swings it to Tallman in the left corner of the floor. Reed deep in the backcourt. Guarded by Banwait. Reed dribble drives to the charity stripe, now kicks back out to Boer. Boer near the top of the key, passes off to Tallman in the left wing. Down low to Boer, guarded by Gillespie, and Boer can't quite get the two to roll in. It's gathered lonely by Edwards, who gets it quickly to Banwait. Banwait on the left side gets a two to fall and one, and Jazz Banwait continues his dominance with 2:03 left to go in the first quarter. Now a 21-5 lead with a free throw attempt on the way from Jazz Banwait.
I mean, Whiteland, we're not even done with the first quarter, and Whiteland is close to a 20-point lead. GCA, they really need to start communicating more on offense, or else this is going to get out of hand early.
And I don't think it's really been the lack of communication for GCA so far. It's been the stifling defense for the Warriors. I mean, they're doubling, they're harassing the ball handlers, and they're leaving a few open outlets for passes, but they are tight windows. As Banwait converts his free throw on the and one, and it stretches the lead 22-5 with 2:01 left to go in quarter number one. It's going to be Comer forward up the court for GCA. He receives an inbound pass, an inlet pass right there, and gets the two easily on the left side. Now going the other way, it's Edwards wide open down low. Great feed from McLaughlin, and GCA is forced to call another timeout as the Warriors have a 17-point lead with 1:40 to go, Luke.
I mean, a great job by Whiteland here, forcing another timeout to just try and get, like, GCA, they just need to get together. They need to be more cohesive. And the reason they win basketball games is because of their great defense. They've allowed 24 in the first quarter. They've only scored 7. They're not even in double figures yet. So on both ends of the floor, they really need to improve right now if they want to try and win this. Yeah,
and for the Warriors, they're well over their average on the year, averaging 64 points per game. They have 24 in the first quarter. As you mentioned, both of these teams with very solid average margins. Greenwood with a 6.8, Whiteland with a 6.6. On paper, these are even teams, but of course, you gotta contribute. The contributing factor is the schedule and the strength of schedule, if you will.
Well, that too, and I think coaching. I mean, Whiteland, they've come in and they've played how they wanted to play from the start, and they knew how they wanted to play from the start.
Out of the break, Comer forward up the floor. Passes off to Boer, top of the key. Dribbles around the key. Now drives right side on Stubbe. Forced to kick out to Tallman, who gets it to Cisse. Cisse running the floor. Cisse gets it to Comerford, who draws a double from McLaughlin. Now gives it to Tallman, and it is orchestrated chaos for GCA on offense. Comerford drives in on Banwait, kicks out. Now Simons here in the game, standing at the left elbow, guarded by Edwards. Now Tallman, top of the key. Tallman tries to drive in on McLaughlin, and GCA definitely slowing things down here, looking for a good shot. Cisse drives in on Gillespie, tries to go under the rim, passes out to Simons, who is closed out quickly by Edwards. Can't get his shot off. He passes off to Boer. Boer guarded by Stubbe once again. Boer left side, dribbles out of the post, finds Tallman down low, who draws a foul from Gillespie. And GCA will head to the line for the first time tonight, and Gillespie took a hard fall there. He is holding his quad, but he gets up, should be just a contusion, as Tallman will head to the line.
Yeah, that was smart by Tallman. He felt Gillespie behind him, pump fake, got him in the air, and drew the foul. Hopefully Gillespie is okay. But great job by GCA. They're realizing they need to slow things down, try and get a good look instead of just forcing something and rushing.
So Tallman at the line. Good on his first try.
I mean, with this kind of deficit that they're facing, you know that one shot isn't going to get you back. So you just need to chip away at it piece by piece.
Tallman was 5 for 6 against Indian Creek on Tuesday night. That's an 83%. He goes 2 for 2 on that trip to close the lead within 15 for the Warriors. Now, last 30 seconds of this first quarter, Banwait up the floor for the Warriors. He's met in the backcourt by Tallman. Now he's dribbling around. Warriors holding for the last shot. Banwait at the top of the key, getting the play in from Kangany. Now directing traffic. He directs Edwards to the left side. 13 seconds now. Banwait calls for a pick. And he gets it from Stubbe. Good switch for Boer. Now Banwait top of the key. He's going to take it himself, and it's blocked out of bounds by Max Boer. He had Edwards wide open in the left corner, refused to kick it out. Tried with the shot with the left. He is a lefty, southpaw, but he is blocked by Max Brewer, who made an amazing play. And now Gillespie to inbound with 1.2 left. Gillespie gets it to Edwards. He has to chuck this one up, and it's no good off the front of the rim. And just like that, the quarter comes to the close. Warriors 24, GCA 9. Warriors 15-point lead. Luke, tell me how they got there.
I mean, Whiteland, they've just been playing with energy from the start. They've stifled GCA. They've taken all the energy out of them. I mean, you heard when that block was made and GCA got some momentum, the fans went crazy. Like, they have a lot of support, and when they make good plays, they have energy. It's just Whiteland's made more big plays, and Whiteland's been able to get to the spots that they want, and even when they haven't gotten the looks that they want on offense, they've still been able to hit their shots because they're just in a zone right now. I mean, sometimes you just play better.
Well, we will take a quick break. Second quarter basketball when you return on the Whiteland Beat Sports Network. This broadcast is presented by Taylor's Farm Market, located at 2434 East 750 North in Whiteland. They offer a variety of fresh seasonal produce, everything from strawberries and blackberries to tomatoes and cabbage and everything in between. For more information, call 317-881-0813 today. Start your next meal with produce from Taylor's Farm Market, proud sponsor of the Whiteland Beat Sports Network. Well, we welcome you into quarter two. Just 10 seconds gone by as the Warriors have a 24-9 lead. CSA at the top of the key as Greenwood Christian has possession. He passes off to Comerford, dribbles around the key, tries to drive in on Dane Kuhn, seeing his first minutes tonight. Down low, gets the pass off to Tallman, and it's poked away. Greenwood will retain possession. Greenwood Christian, matter of fact, will retain possession. And Comerford will inbound with 7:35 left to go in the second quarter. Comerford gets it in, deep inbound pass to Cisse, who is now in the backcourt, guarded by Gillespie. Cisse dribbles around the arc. Passes off, Comerford, guarded by Coons. Now to Brewer. Brewer ending that quarter with an amazing block on Jazz Banwait. See if he can get going on the offensive end. Passes off to Cisse. Drives in, right side. Cisse hands off to Comerford. Drives in right side. Up and under, no good. Guarded by Coons, but he does draw the foul. Didn't see much there, but they do say it's a foul regardless, and Comerford heads to the line.
GCA's possessions, ever since that last timeout, have been very prolonged. They're looking for the exact shot that they want. They're trying to slow it down, which makes sense because Whiteland's trying to play really fast right now.
Comerford no good off back iron on his first try.
And when you take a fast team and you make them slow down, sometimes you can force them to make errors because they're playing in a situation where they're not in control and they're not necessarily comfortable.
Comerford good on his second try, makes up for the miss. And now Gillespie will bring it up the floor. Jazz Banwait taking the seat after an electric first quarter of play. So Gillespie will run the offense here. Passes off to Edwards, now back to Gillespie, top of the key. Edwards, right wing. Now Gillespie again. Gillespie to Stubbe. Now Gillespie in the left wing. Gillespie passing off to Edwards. Edwards dribbling around the arc. Gets it off to McLaughlin, left wing. Now Edwards from 30 feet, and it is good again. Ethan Edwards, automatic from long range.
I mean, Whiteland's just been shooting amazingly from three-point in this game so far.
And they have been doing that all tournament long. They made 9 threes against Franklin. As Tallman trying to go to work in the backcourt, driving in left side, guarded by McLaughlin, draws a foul. And Tallman will head to the line for the second time tonight, where he is already 2 for 2.
Well, GCA, they've now been to the line 3 times, which is, and they've been actually pretty decent because they're shooting 62% as a team, and as long as these are made, which that one is, they'll be shooting pretty far above that clip. So if they can get to the line and actually convert, that'll help them a lot in this game.
Tallman good again, 4 for 4 on the night. Gillespie up the floor. Gets it off to Dane Coons in the backcourt. Now back to Gillespie. McLaughlin will get a touch, dribble around the arc, now drive in right side. Spin around, his jumper with a soft touch, it goes from the free throw line.
I mean, that was just a great move there.
And it looks like a long pass deflected out of bounds by Spencer Gillespie there as GCA tried to run the floor, maybe take advantage of Whiteland not getting back on defense quick enough.
Which, I mean, when you're in a deficit like this, 12-29, you'll take any break you can get.
Reed with the inbound pass to Comerford. Comerford guarded in the backcourt by Coons. Coons applying a lot of pressure. His pass to Tallman almost picked away by McLaughlin. Tallman now in the corner, trapped, guarded by McLaughlin. Gets it off to Boer. Now back out to Tallman, who resets. Tallman drives with the right, guarded by McLaughlin once again. Warriors playing man-to-man. Now it's Reed, guarded by Gillespie. Dribbles into the left wing. Now dribbles back out. Now it's Comerford. Shoots a three, no good. Rebound somehow tracked down by Noah Reed. Now Noah Reed will drive in on the defense, guarded by Stubbe, and it's no good. Rebound Edwards. Edwards running the floor. Edwards passes off to Gillespie. Now back to Coons. Coons shoots a three, and no good. Just rims out, gathered by Reed. Reed up the floor again for GCA, and the pace of play is quick for both teams. Reed near the block, in the paint, kicks out. Comerford drives with the right, somehow finds Simons down low, who capitalizes with a two of his own.
Now GCA, they're kind of getting their offense going. They're chipping away at this lead, and they're playing good basketball right now.
4:45 left to go. McLaughlin drives in, right side, kicks back out, and there is a blocking foul on Will Simons, the freshman forward for GCA. That is GCA's first foul of the quarter with over 3 minutes gone by. Coons will inbound for the Warriors.
Cole and Jazz Banwait just checked in. This pace of play is going to go up even more.
Banwait receives the inbound in the right corner, passes off to Stubbe. Stubbe top of the key to McLaughlin. Now Coons wide open in the corner, his second three-point attempt, and it falls. Dane Coons from the left corner on that one extends the lead to 18. Now Noah Reed directing traffic, hand fighting with Jazz Banwait deep in the backcourt. Reed gets it to Simons. Simons passes off, it's Cisse now. Now back to Reed, finds Cisse down low. Cisse can't gather in the pass. He tries to save it, but it goes to Coons. Coons up the floor, hands off to Banwait. Passes to a Cole. Cole thought about a three-point attempt, now passes back to Coons, and it's Banwait directing traffic and getting the play in from Kangany at the top of the key. Banwait dribbles to the elbow, kicks out. McLaughlin for three, leaves that one short. And the rebound is to Noah Reed. GCA up the floor. Tallman for three. Tallman no good from the left wing. Rebound is McLaughlin, actually, and he passes to Banwait. Banwait long on the three. He's going to airball, and it goes out of bounds off of GCA. Whiteland will retain possession.
Oh, Jeremiah Hurt is checking in for Wyatt McLaughlin. This Whiteland team is just going to be playing with a lot of energy.
Yeah, Jeremiah Hurt really good off the bench as Cole receives the inbound at the elbow. Hurt takes a spill on an off-ball movement. Now Stubbe has it at the top of the key. Stubbe, spin move, kicks out. Banwait, pump fakes. Coons now to Stubbe. Takes a three from the top, no good. Cole tried to get the rebound, stumbles, and is tracked down by Simons. Hands off to Reed, and Reed brings it up the floor for GCA. 3:10 left to go now in the second quarter. Warriors with an 18-point lead. And it looks like Hurts tipped the pass out of bounds. And GCA will retain possession here. So it gives us a chance to catch our breath as Reed will inbound.
GCA recently in this quarter has limited their turnovers.
Cisse receives the inbound deep in the backcourt, hands off to Reed, the point guard for this GCA Cougars basketball team. Reed dribbling around the backcourt, good pressure from Banwait. Passes off to Boer, the leading scorer for the Cougars. Boer guarded by Stubbe, draws a double from Cole. He had Simons wide open, but he chooses the three from the top of the key. No good. Rebound goes to Coons, and a blocking foul again for GCA. This one on Noah Reed. .242 left to go here in the second quarter. Warriors still with an 18-point lead, 32-14 your score. And like you said, GCA here in the second quarter, a lot more control of this ball game.
Yeah, I mean, really, they got in such a hole early. That's the only reason why this game isn't more competitive right now. If we started this game from the second quarter, it would be a lot closer.
Stubbe, top of the key. Stubbe driving in on Cisse with his back to the basket. And another blocking foul for GCA. They're trying to draw charges here is what they're doing. And now that's 3 blocking fouls that have been called for in this quarter alone.
And I don't blame them for trying to draw those charges, but it's just not been working out. And right now, Whiteland, I mean, Stubbe's about to go to the line. It's just not a good spot to be in.
Simons with his second of the game. He had 7 rebounds against Indian Creek, their leading rebounder in that game. Stubbe here at the line. Good on his first try. His mark on the year is 83%, second best on the team. Tied with Jazz Banwaite for that mark. Warriors as a team at the line shooting 77% on the year. Stubbe good again, 2 for 2 on that trip. And now some full court pressure being applied here. And Hurt will back off. Comerford up the floor. Passes off. Now Tallman in the right wing. Tallman guarded by Banwaite. Now Cisse. Cisse dribbles out. Top of the key. Passes off. Now it's going to be Comerford in the wing. Now Booher, the leading scorer, draws a double from McCole. Inside. Can't get it to fall off the right side of the basket, but the rebound is tracked in somehow by Eli Jackson. Booher draws another double. Gets a cross-key pass to Comerford. Drives in on the baseline. And there's going to be a push this time. I believe they got Dane Coons.
Yeah, and I mean, that's going to happen sometimes, especially with a player as physical as Dane Coons is.
Pardon me, that was Stubbe, Gavin Stubbe.
Stubbe? Well, you know, when you're playing fast, just to change it up, when you're playing fast, those type of mistakes can't happen.
Comerford to inbound, 1:52 left to go here in the second quarter of play. 34-14 lead for Whiteland. Cisse, top of the key. Guarded by Edwards. Cisse passes off. Booher in the right corner. Booher dribbles out. Around the arc, guarded loosely by Stubbe. Booher drives right side and draws a foul from Stubbe. That is his second in this minute alone.
I think they're calling that on the floor, though. Oh, maybe not. Oh, yeah, they are.
Yep, that is an on-the-floor foul, and now Gillespie will check in relief of Gavin Stubbe, who, as I mentioned, had his second foul in just under a minute. 1:35 left to go here in the second quarter. Comerford to inbound for GCA. Gives it off to Booher in the right wing. Booher drives in, baseline on Gillespie. Kicks out, pass deflected by Cole, who tried to save it. But they'll say he stepped out of bounds, and GCA will take over once again. So the Warriors held at only 10 points here in the second quarter, as their momentum has slowed based on the pace of play of GCA. Tallman gets the inbound in the right corner, gets it to Booher down low. Booher backing into Gillespie. And his shot is deflected by Gillespie and recovered by Cole. Now Banwaite, pass to Edwards, gets him up the floor. Cole slides over to Gillespie. Gillespie from 23, no good. Gathered in by Tallman. Quickly up the floor is Cisse. Pass off to Jackson, and Jackson gets his first points of the game.
I mean, that was a good pass there by Cisse, and good job Eli Jackson able to make that layup.
Less than a minute to go here in the second quarter. Banwaite calling out the play. Gets it to Cole. Now Edwards in the left wing. Edwards passes off. Great screen from Hurt. Gets it to Banwaite. Banwaite dribbles out of the right corner. Now to the top of the key. Passes off to Cole. Wide open three. No good, off to the left. Rebound goes straight to Hurt, and it's called a jump ball as he had a tie-up with Jordan Tallman. Down low on the left block. Whiteland did have the possession arrow to their favor, so Gillespie will take the inbound, and McLaughlin will check in for Jeremiah Hurt.
You do kind of feel bad for Jeremiah Hurt in that situation because you do feel like you should be rewarded for fighting for that rebound, but Whiteland does get to keep possession.
Gillespie looking for an inbound pass. Gets it to Edwards in the left corner. Edwards drives baseline, now kicks out to McLaughlin, who gets it to Banwaite. 30 seconds to go now, and the Warriors might hold for the last shot of this first half. 25 seconds. Banwaite dribbling around at the Trojan Head logo here at Center Grove High School. Banwaite again stalling for time. 15 seconds to go now. Banwaite passes off Gillespie. 10 seconds. A Cole. Now McLaughlin. Lots of off-ball motion and a foul called. This is an illegal screen, I believe, on a Cole. And GCA will take over with 6 seconds to go.
Well, like you said, there was a lot of off-ball movement, and that kind of stuff is prone to happen when you have so many moving pieces on the court at once.
The Whiteland Warriors allowed 2 buzzer beaters against Franklin, one at the end of the first quarter, one at the end of the first half. So we'll see if GCA can make some magic here with 6.2 left to go, trailing by 18. Brewer receives the inbound. Brewer dribbling up the floor on Jeremiah Hurt, who just checked back in. Brewer now forced to take a shot. No good, as he was smothered by Warriors defenders at the Trojan Head logo. So with that, we go to halftime. Warriors up 34-16 here on the Whiteland B Sports Network. Luke, what did you see there in that first half?
I mean, Max Brewer, he only has 3 points this whole game. And it's not because he's a bad basketball player. It's not because, he's used to playing weaker competition necessarily. It's really because Whiteland has just played such great defense. They have smothered him, and they've taken away his ability to create his own shot and take players one-on-one and call for ISOs and stuff like that. He's not really gotten a good look all game. It's been tough everywhere he's gone on the court. So Whiteland has done a great job of neutralizing GCA's number 1 weapon.
And for Jazz Banway, he had an electric first quarter, getting the Warriors off to a hot start. I believe, how many points did he have in that first quarter alone?
In that first quarter,
I believe he had about 11.
Yes, he was in double figures by the end of the first quarter. Right now he has 16. I mean,
that's above the season average. I mean,
that's on pace for 32, I believe. So.
And the Warriors, as you mentioned, have been catching heat from the three-point line recently.
They've just been shooting great this whole game everywhere. But, from the three-point line, I mean, you've got Dane Coons has made a 3, Gavin Stupy's made a 3, Ethan Edwards has made 2 threes, Jazz Banway has made a litany of 3s. I mean, it's been great shooting here tonight for Whiteland.
Well, we would like to remind you that this broadcast is presented by Taylor's Farm Market, located at 2434 East 750 North in Whiteland. They offer a variety of fresh seasonal produce, everything from strawberries and blackberries to tomatoes and cabbage and everything in between. For more information, call 317-881-0813 today. Start your next meal with produce from Taylor's Farm Market, proud sponsor of the Whiteland Beat Sports Network. This broadcast is also brought to you by Restoration. Let me start that again. Let's give our sponsor some good word here. This game is also brought to you in part by Reese Restoration and Bailey & Wood Mortgage Lender, proud sponsor of Whiteland Athletics. So with that, we'll take a break for the half, about 8 minutes until both teams come out onto the floor again. Basketball when you return on the Whiteland B Sports Network. This broadcast is presented by Taylor's Farm Market, located at 2434 East, 750 North in Whiteland. They offer a variety of fresh seasonal produce, everything from strawberries and blackberries to tomatoes and carrots, and everything in between. For more information, call 317-881-0813 today. Start your next meal with produce from Taylor's Farm Market, proud sponsor of the Whiteland Bee Sports Network. This game is also brought to you in part by Reese Restoration and Bailey & Wood Mortgage Lender, proud supporter of Whiteland Athletics. Welcome back to Melvin Vandermeer Gymnasium at Center Grove High School. I'm Jayden Collins, and along my side, Luke Wineland-Moening, who has first half scoring from both GCA and Whiteland.
Yeah, Jazz Banwaite finished that first half with 16 points, as we talked about. Wyatt McLaughlin with 2, Dane Coons with a 3, Gavin Stubbe also with a 3, and Ethan Edwards with 8 points in that first half. Pretty impressive scoring from him. Now for GCA, Jordan Tallman has 4. Ben Comerford has 3. Noah Reed has 2. Max Boer has 3. Eli Jackson has 2. And Will Simons has 2. So the only repeat scorer that they have is Jordan Tallman, who got all of his points off of free throws.
Well, so GCA really found the key to success here in that second quarter by slowing it down and taking care of the ball. How do you think that affected Whiteland's defense?
Really, I think it made them slow down and think more. And, everyone's, when you overthink, you tend to make mistakes. And I think that's kind of what was happening to Whiteland, but they still didn't make many mistakes. I mean, they kept they have an 18-point lead right now. At some points, the deficit reached 20, so they're doing a really good job still. It's just GCA on defense hasn't really been able to stop Whiteland. They've been able to slow them down, but they haven't been able to stop them. And nobody for GCA has really caught fire. So if they could get Boer or Noah Reed to get scoring again, kind of like they did last game, that would be really good for GCA.
5 seconds gone by here in the second half of play. GCA with the possession era in their favor. They start the half with the ball. Noah Reed between the circles. Dribble drive. Stop. Kick out. Boer gets to the charity stripe. Backs out. Guarded by Banwait. Boer, Banwait. That's a mismatch in GCA's favor, but the ball is tipped away by Ethan Edwards and goes out of bounds. GCA will retain possession. So it looks like Reed will do the inbound pass from the baseline. Gets it to Tallman. Now Comerford, elbow, kicks out. Now Boer dribbles around the arc, hands off. Tallman between the circles. Tallman hands off to Boer. Boer draws a double. Back to Tallman, right corner. Guarded by Banwait. Tallman drives to the post. Back to Comerford. Draws a double. Gets it inside Eli Jackson, but there is a kicked ball. That will be on Whiteland. I believe it was Banwait's foot that got on the basketball right there, and now Reed will take the inbound again. Tallman down low. Boer backs into Stubbe. Boer right side gets the scoop, but it looks like it's going to be a charge here.
That is really discouraging for GCA, especially when they've been trying to get that exact call all game.
We're the Whiteland call, and we don't agree with that one right there. That's an interesting call right there. And now Banwait will take it the other way, drawing full court pressure from GCA. Tallman applying the pressure. Banwait and Stubbe playing hot potato. Stubbe crosses the timeline. Now Banwait will direct traffic from the top of the key. And an illegal screen on Nicole Cole. That was clear as day right there.
Yeah, he was moving a little bit more than you should be when you're trying to set a screen.
Moving. He had his whole leg kicked out, ready to trip the guy.
Well,
Tallman will inbound for GCA.
In the heat of the moment.
Reed brings it up the floor. Reed guarded closely by Banwait, trying to get it back. Tallman now hands off to Boer, driving right side on Stubbe. And the ball is deflected, but it's gathered by Noah Reed in a clutch-like manner. And he gets the 2. Edwards now trying to beat the press. Gets it to Stubbe. Stubbe driving. Right side baseline. And he gets the 2 to go from the right block. Now Tallman running the floor for GCA. Tallman drives baseline on the right side. No good. Tipped out of bounds by Stubbe, and it will stay with GCA.
Well, Max Boer and Noah Reed have come out of this half firing for GCA. If they can get some stops on defense, they'll be right back into this game.
Boer gets it into Reed. The 1-2 combo that you just mentioned. Comerford gets it to Boer. 3 is good from the right wing for Max Boer, GCA's leading scorer.
His second 3 of the night, and he has finally kind of been able to create his own shot here.
Stubbe, his pass picked off. Reed goes the other way, gets it with the left, and GCA forces a timeout from Coach Kangany.
Yeah, that's a great timeout by Whiteland. You really need that because GCA is gaining a lot of momentum right now.
And it cuts the deficit to 13. 36-23, your score. 5:47 left to go in the third quarter of play. Basketball when you return on the Whiteland B Sports Network. This broadcast of Whiteland basketball is brought to you by Taylor's Farm Market. This game is also brought to you in part by Reese Restoration and Bailey & Wood Mortgage Lender, proud sponsor of Whiteland Athletics. So Whiteland will take it out from their own baseline. After a timeout, they were forced to call after GCA cut the deficit to 13. 36-23 your score with 5:45 left to go in the third quarter. Warriors trying to beat the press here. Gets it to McLaughlin in between the circles. Now he passes off to Edwards. Edwards dribbles to the right elbow. Kicks out to McLaughlin in the right corner. McLaughlin now dribbles baseline. It's poked away. And they'll say it went off McLaughlin. I believe Comerford stripped that one away.
To be fair, from our vantage point, we kind of do have a better angle at it than that ref.
Definitely. He was on the other side of that play, but still an interesting call nonetheless. And now Whiteland applying some full court pressure to try and increase GCA's tempo, see how careful they can be with the basketball. Simon's in the game now. Passes off. Reed for three. No good from the left corner. Now Reed tries to track in his own rebound. It's a loose ball down low in the paint. And a timeout called by GCA while they still have possession.
I mean, great job by Noah Reed there, just making up for his miss, hustling for the rebound, and coming away with possession.
It is a full timeout for GCA, but we will stay here to talk about it regardless. And GCA, man, they are capitalizing on a lot of sloppy play from Whiteland.
I mean, yeah, Noah Reed and Max Boer both have 6 points. For Noah Reed, 4 of them coming in this second half, and for Max Boer, 3 of them coming with that three-pointer there in the second half. So GCA, they're kind of coming back. I mean, the deficit is still double digits at 13. They haven't really been able to get a lot of stops on defense, but they've been playing with a lot more energy, a lot more juice, and they've been able to slow the pace down to something that they're more comfortable with.
Man, Indiana basketball, playoff atmosphere, you really love to see it, don't you?
I mean, yeah, you look at GCA's stands, they are full. Their student section's still here even after leaving halftime with an almost 20-point deficit. So great job by the fans here sticking it out. The atmosphere is electric.
Well, there's 5:18 left to go here in the third quarter of play. Warriors up 36-23. As we mentioned, a 13-point deficit for GCA, but they are working to climb out of it really quickly.
I mean, yeah, they're hustling. They're doing all the little things right. Right now, Whiteland, they need to kind of stay on their toes because GCA is kind of coming back here, and if you let the momentum fully swing towards them, it's going to be really tough for you.
Reed to inbound, far side of the court. Gets it quickly into Max Boer, who nails a three from the left corner.
Great job by
Are
GCA
you
there.
me?
Out of the inbound, getting the screen, getting Max Boer open. Great look.
Gillespie in the backcourt. Gets it to Banway. Almost a backcourt violation right there. Hurt now in the right corner. Oh, boy, Jerry Hurt has found his rhythm.
Yes, sir, Jeremiah. There we go.
Reed in the backcourt, guarded by Banway. Dribbles into the deep wing. Now trapped by Banway in the corner. Somehow gets it off to Tallman. Tallman loses his handle and is stripped away by Edwards.
Now this pace is more what Whiteland wants. It's way more fast pace now.
2 threes, one for each team coming out of the last timeout. Banway straight away passes off. Edwards. Edwards now to Hurt. Hurt gets it to Gillespie. They'll say he traveled.
We've been saying it for the past 2 years now. They've been really cracking down on that the past 2 seasons.
Student section leader Jackson Fleming in disbelief down to our left as Reed will bring it up the court. Reed guarded closely by Banway once again. Gets it to Comerford. Comerford now to Boer. Boer backing into Coons in the post. Gets it out to Simons. Boer drives in with the left and is poked away by Gillespie. Warriors running the floor. Hurt. Shot deflected by Comerford. Loose ball now, and it is a reach-and foul called on Gillespie.
Well, great job there at the other end by Spencer Gillespie, having active hands and getting that ball away, picking the guy's pocket, but then not able to convert on the offensive side of the ball, and GCA comes away with possession.
3:56 left to go here in the third quarter of play. Warriors still with a 13-point lead, 39-26. That is Gillespie's first foul. Actually, they called that one on Jeremiah Hurt. And now Reed battling a full-court pressure from Banway. Banway trying to poke that ball away. Reed with some great ball handling moves as he runs all the way to the right elbow. Now kicks out to Boer again. This one, it rims out. Gathered in by Simons. Simons down low. Gets the second chance basket.
Great job by Will Simons there. Stayed in the post, boxed out, got the rebound, put the shot back up, and was able to convert.
Edwards driving, draws a blocking foul from Simons. That's his third blocking foul of the game as Edwards converts from the right side of the floor. And Edwards will head to the line for an and-one opportunity.
He is also now in double figures, the second Whiteland Warrior to reach double figures in this game. Alongside him, obviously, Jazz Banwait, who had 16 in the first
Nothing
half.
new for Ethan Edwards, I will tell you. Nothing new for both of those guys as Edwards readies at the line. Some mass substitutions taking place for both teams. 3:26 left to go in the third. Edwards, cold as ice on that attempt, 84% from the line. As he drains it to extend the lead to 14. Down low, Reed wide open. How did that happen right there? A lapse in the Whiteland defense as Reed converts from the left block. Now McLaughlin and Edwards playing hot potato in the backcourt trying to beat the full court press. Edwards gets it across the timeline. Dribbles in between the circles, now passes off to McLaughlin in the left wing. McLaughlin to Gillespie, who has it poked away at the top of the key. Now Reed running the floor, and it's blocked by Gillespie. Recovered by Comerfield. Comerfield looking for a second chance opportunity. He's trapped in the corner, and it looks like there was a foul called. We'll wait and see on this one. It looked to be on Whiteland. And that's going to be Gavin Suby with his third of the game. Now foul trouble becoming an issue for the Warriors.
Yeah, this game's getting chippy. It was getting chippy really in the second quarter, but now it's getting pretty physical.
Comerford, pass off to Boer. Boer, baseline drive from the right side. Boer with an up and under. And GCA has all the momentum in the world despite their 10-point deficit.
Yeah, GCA, when they slow it down like that, they're really able to catch Whiteland ball watching.
McLaughlin, cross-key pass, finds Edwards, who shoots a three and drains it from the right side of the floor. Warriors putting a little bit of a silencer on GCA's crowd. As Reed now in the backcourt, guarded by Edwards. Reed drives right side, gets up for two, no good. Gets his own rebound, kicks it out, and the three is good from Comerford on the left side.
That is his second three of the night. Now Comerford might be able to get going for GCA.
Coons gets to Stubbe in the middle, facilitating. Now McLaughlin tried an acrobatic scoop layup and cannot convert. Now Comerford feeling himself from three, no good off the front of the rim. Gathered in by McLaughlin, who has it poked away down low. However, it is a foul on Noah Reed. Whew.
I mean, it's just been back and forth, which really isn't in GCA's favor. It's more in Whiteland's favor because GCA, they've been scoring, but they haven't been able to get many stops. Now, they have cut the deficit down to 10, but every time they score, Whiteland seems to come right back, and it just seems like they're trying to get themselves out of the hole, but it just gets deeper every time, and it just kind of stays the same. Full
court pressure is on for GCA. Gillespie and Banwait playing hot potato. Now a Cole across the timeline. A Cole deep in the wing, the left wing, if that. A Cole passes from straight away. Now Edwards in that same spot. He'll attempt a three, and Edwards has been feeling himself all tournament long from three-point range. He knocks one down right there.
Yeah, he's way above his average with 17 points now.
Comerford, straight away, guarded by Banwait. Comerford now driving in, right side. Passes out to Cisse, who just checked in recently. Cisse drives left side, and a beautiful layup from Aliou Cisse. McLaughlin passes up a three in the left wing. Edwards straight away passes off. Now a Cole, top of the key. Gets it to Edwards. Now McLaughlin on a drive down the right side, draws a foul. No, I believe they afforded Kangani a timeout there.
Yeah, Whiteland they did have possession, so they were able to call a timeout there. Great job keeping possession, especially when GCA is playing with a lot of momentum. Like I said earlier, it's been very back and forth between these two teams.
Well, the Warriors with an 11-point lead, 48-37 your score with 42 seconds left to go here in this third quarter. And man, is this fourth quarter going to be exciting the way this one is shaping up.
I mean, GCA on offense, they're doing everything right. They're cutting behind the defense because, like I said earlier, when you cut behind Whiteland's defense, sometimes when you slow it down, they'll ball watch and they won't really be as active. So if you can cut behind the defense, and catch them ball watching like that, you'll get open looks. And if you set screens, a lot of off-ball movement, you'll get pretty good looks. But GCA on the other end, they have to start getting stops to get this game into single digits here.
So Gillespie will inbound for the Warriors out of the timeout. 42 seconds left to go in the third quarter. On the floor for the Warriors, it's Gillespie, Banwaite, McLaughlin, Cole, and Edwards. And now recently checked in is Reed Smith for GCA, the 6'7 senior. He's guarding Nicole. Banwaite deep in the backcourt, holding on to the ball here. Just about 30 seconds left to go. Less than 10 seconds and he's fouled by Comerford. So Gillespie will take it out with 8 seconds left to go in quarter number 3. Gets it to Banwaite. Warriors up tempo now. Edwards, left wing, passes off. Gillespie, now McLaughlin. Back to Edwards, swings it, and the Warriors cannot get a shot off in time. Stifling defense from GCA right there. It looked like a little bit of zone action.
Yeah.
Threw the Warriors off guard. So a fresh 8 on the scoreboard for the fourth quarter of play. We'll take a break along with both teams. Johnson County basketball when you return on the Whiteland Beat Sports Network. This broadcast is presented by Taylor's Farm Market, located at 2434 East 750 North in Whiteland. They offer a variety of fresh seasonal produce, everything from strawberries and blackberries to tomatoes and cabbage, and everything in between. For more information, call 317-881-0813 today. Start your next meal with produce from Taylor's Farm Market, proud sponsor of the Whiteland Beat Sports Network. This game is also brought to you in part by Reese Restoration and Bailey & Wood Mortgage Lender, proud sponsor of Whiteland Athletics. So Banwaite looking to receive the inbound from Gillespie. Warriors starting this fourth quarter with possession. It is a long inbound from Gillespie that Banwaite has to haul in deep in the backcourt. Gets it across the timeline. Swings it to McLaughlin in the right wing. McLaughlin driving off a pick from McCole. Swings it. Now Edwards. Top of the key. 3. No good. Just rims out. Gathered by Reed Smith, the 6'7 senior for GCA, who just checked into the game recently. Great inbound pass on the baseline cut to Max Boer, who gets the 2. And just like that, it's within 10 here in the semifinal of the Johnson County tournament. GCA making a great run here as McLaughlin is called with a travel. Oh, mama.
I mean, GCA 9-point lead, and all the momentum really is with GCA right now.
Noah Reed brings it up the floor quickly, guarded by Banwaite. Trying to claw their way out of a 9-point deficit are the GCA Cougars. Cisse in the backcourt now. Passes off to Tallman, dribbles out, now straight away. Slides it inside to Noah Reed, who has it stripped away by Gillespie. However, there is a foul called, I believe, or at least a stoppage in play. This will be a foul. And that's a foul on Noah Reed.
Ooh, they're going to get him. That's his 4th. He has 8 points. He's been a big contributor.
Yeah, and he has to take a seat now. He has to take a seat now. Comerford's going to check in for GCA in favor of Reed. GCA still applying some full court pressure. McCole to McLaughlin across the timeline. McLaughlin driving in, right side, goes up with it, and he gets it to fall. Great touch going in on 7, Reed Smith. Comerford up the floor now for GCA. 50-39 your score. Warriors lead with 6:45 left to go in quarter number 4. Tallman dribbles. Passes Boer. Boer takes a handoff from Reed and is poked away by Banwaite. Banwaite on the fast break. Guarded by Cisse. Draws a foul. He'll head to the line for 2 shots as he can't convert.
I mean, great job by Jazz Banwaite there, just attacking the basket, drawing the foul.
It's getting a little chippy down there. You can hear it. You can hear all the barking.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell GCA, they're a little frustrated with each other. because they're not in the right place at the right time on defense. They need to communicate a little bit better, it looks like.
Banwait gets his free throw to rattle in. One more attempt from the line for Jazz.
Something just to note, these will be his first points since scoring all of those in the first half.
Yeah, a very silent third quarter for Jazz Banwait as he goes 2 for 2 on that trip to the line, extending the lead to 13 once again. 52-39 your score, less than 6:30 to go. Brewer running the floor for GCA. Hands off Tallman. Tallman at the point. Tallman passes off to Brewer in the right wing. Gillespie, stutter step, now gets into the paint, kicks out to Cisse straight away. Cisse drives in, right side, kicks out. Comerford, baseline drive, gets it to Brewer at the charity stripe, and Brewer can't hit off to the right. Gathered in by Cisse. Cisse no good, but offensive rebounding has been a threat as a Cole is shoved there. No foul called, and Banwait brings it up the floor as GCA draws back the press. Banwait now driving into the paint, slashing and dashing for 2. Cisse up the floor. Pass off to Brewer, the leading scorer for these GCA Cougars. Trying to pull off a huge upset in this Johnson County tournament, but they are trailing by 15 with 5.5 left to go. Brewer dribbles between the circles. Now passes off to Simons, who pump fakes for 3. Gets back to Brewer. Brewer driving from the right wing and gets the 2 to fall on Nicole Cole. And Gillespie shoved. Once again, it's getting very physical, very fast here in the fourth quarter. Right. Cole gets it across the timeline. Now Edwards in the right corner. First time we've seen Edwards here in this fourth quarter of play.
Yeah, Whiteland, they're going to try to drain a lot of clock here, and ooh.
And it looks like a Cole might have drawn a foul there, or at least committed one. No, they get Cisse. Cisse with the foul.
Yeah,
he was guarding a Cole down low.
Yeah, he backed up into a Cole, and with his backside kind of lifted a Cole up off of the ground, which, yeah, you're not allowed to do that.
Gillespie to inbound. Gillespie gathered in by McLaughlin, pulling around in the backcourt. McLaughlin pump fakes from the top of the key and draws a foul, this one from Tallman. So Warriors milking the clock and drawing 2 fouls. Not a recipe for success for GCA.
Yeah, and I don't blame GCA for getting a little frustrated, getting a little too physical at times because they're running out of time to make a comeback, and Whiteland's just milking the clock right here.
McLaughlin apologized for going off air. We had some technical difficulties with the Wi-Fi, kind of shutting us out there. Whiteland did come away with the win tonight, 63-47 against Greenwood Christian Academy. They will advance to the next round of the Johnson County tournament where they will take on either Greenwood or Center Grove. That game about to take off in about 20-30 minutes or so. But yeah, Luke, what do you really see there in that game?
I mean, with Whiteland, they just hit the ground running and were firing on all cylinders the whole 4 quarters. And GCA, they had a really good second half. It's their first half that killed them, especially that first quarter. They could barely score. They couldn't create their own shot very effectively. Whereas Whiteland, they were scoring good on offense. They were playing really good, just suffocating defense. GCA, though, they were still able to end with Noah Reed and Max Brewer in double figures. But for Whiteland, you had Jazz Banwait with 20 and then Ethan Edwards with almost 20 at 19. So just a lot of offensive firepower that kind of overwhelmed GCA and didn't allow them to play as good of defense as I think they wanted to and are used to.
Well, so Whiteland will advance to the next round. They will play either Center Grove or Greenwood. What do you expect to see in that matchup?
Well, if it is Center Grove, Whiteland will be statistically overmatched. But what they need to do is focus on the same thing that they did tonight. Just hit the ground running, come out firing, hit your threes early. If you get a look, take your shot. Hopefully hit it. You really need to hit your shots. It's enough to get looks, but you need to convert on them, especially against a team like Center Grove where you're so overmatched. And on defense, play with that same energy, that same quickness. Play your game. Don't try to play theirs and match it. Just focus on yourself, play good fundamentally, and do the little things right.
Well, for GCA, they will move on and travel to Traders Point Christian next Saturday. They suffer their 4th loss on the season, their 2nd that ended in regulation. And they will move on to 9-4 on the year still standing at third in the Pioneer Conference South Division.
And I believe that snaps a 3-game winning streak, right?
Yes, that does. And they had also won 7 of their last 9.
Jeez.
Yes. For the Warriors, they get their 10th win on the season, advance to the final round of the Johnson County tournament. They still have 3 scorers with 13 points per game on the year, and they are continuing to shoot lights out.
I mean, you love double-figure wins, and you love getting to advance to a tournament final. It's great experience before you get to sectionals and playoff time. It's great for a lot of these younger guys that you have playing, and for Whiteland as a whole. So this is good experience for their team, and if they face, no matter who they face, Center Grove or Greenwood, it's going to be a good matchup for them to kind of test themselves.
Well, that will wrap up this broadcast. We thank you guys for tuning in for what you could have. We're not even too sure when the Wi-Fi kicked us out. We assumed somewhere in between the third and fourth quarter, but it took forever for us to notice. Obviously, we were so dialed in, but we apologize for that circumstance, but we hope that you join us back tomorrow night, or at least come in attendance here at Center Grove High School, as the Warriors will take on either Center Grove or Whiteland for a Johnson County championship. I'm Jayden Collins, along my side Luke Wineland-Moening. We thank you for watching. Good night.